Go to the nearest AfriMoney agent. Tell them how much you want to deposit. Give the agents your number and the cash. You will receive an SMS notification from 161 confirming the deposits.
To check and of course the time now for my studio clock is 10:05, and of course as promised we're going to be talking to two special guests this morning on the What's Happening Breakfast Show. And the first we are going to start off with the Sierra Leonean defender by the name of David Simbo. But just so you know, he was born in Freetown, and Simbo started his career playing for Mighty Blackpool, of course, in Sierra Leone. In 2009, he went to Norway to play for a side called Rufus. I'm sure he will definitely clear that with us. While outside the Norwegian club, he stay there for some time, and of course they come join the national team as well for represent. And Simbo returned to Sierra Leone and also played for Mighty Blackpool in 2011, and he also went on loan in Sweden again for play for club Motala for the first season. And he's been around Europe, pursuing his football career. We definitely can talk plenty more about David Simbo. Well, his name needs no introduction to all those who are following football in Sierra Leone, and of course so many Sierra Leoneans they know who don't know David Simbo, but we can't try for no more. But good morning, brother. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and thanks very much to having me this morning.
I know say you just come on exercise reaching me this morning at the studio.
Yeah, definitely. Just from the national team training. So there's a training going on for the national team, so I just went from training, just finished.
All right, that's nice. So let me start. We get for talk to Fambulum today exclusively. We go and let you take we backs for people away don't know exactly how symbolize to the point where they represent the national team, the Blue national team. Some people could see and say magic, but I'm sure there's no magic, but you do have a story for tell. So somebody they listen. We all know say you born in Freetown, but then go on for know exactly like who side David Simbo grew up, how early life been like.
Good morning, listeners. Also good morning to Afriradio, and thanks for having me this morning. And I think it's been a very long journey, and definitely it's not been an easy one, but I mean, that's the career we find ourselves. So I'm definitely, I was born in Freetown, and of course, like you just mentioned, I think my name is not been a name that somebody will be doubting when he calls Simbo, as you said, when it comes to football. So I was actually born in Freetown, of course, in the western area. So I mean the central part of Freetown.
Okay. So
I was raised in the central part of Freetown. So I actually, what should I say, I started my career in that part of the country. And there was a very small mini field or park. There's a field called Blackfield, where they have the United Secondary School.
Yes, so now they don't build last school there now. Yeah.
So I actually came from that part of the country, in that particular area.
Okay.
But normally most people actually think I come from the Kington part.
Okay.
Or maybe the Lumley, because when I actually started my career, I knew I wanted to play football, and I wanted to associate myself to the people who can actually support me and say, this guy have a talent to play.
Okay.
So I think if I should sit back in that particular side where I actually go up, I think nobody's going to support my talent, because I see I'm not going to say I was much better than the other guys that who was playing, but I just think that I wanted to play, and then because I wanted to play, I have to go where people can actually know that this guy have talent. So first of all, what I did was I have to relocate from that community or that area.
Okay.
So I have to take myself to place like Kington and Lumley, where I could actually get the opportunity.
Because now that side and the football actually they play, and the only way they follow football, they go on that side, then they plenty. So you thought and fit say you forget yourself now then here the day. We'll come to that and talk plenty more about that. But let me start with you growing up, now the central community. Football was part of the thing when you go to school, you all your life in the school. First off, which primary school you go?
Definitely, I think I mean I should mention that as well. I think Christchurch Primary School, it was Secular Road and Panamba Road.
Yeah.
And then that was when we started, and when I was going Christchurch Primary School, there was this huge primary school league that was going on that time, playing at the parade playing field.
Yeah.
And that particular time, it was very, very what should I say? It was very, intensive. Playing.
It was interesting. We'll be like I'm bad.
Yeah, it was interesting, and so we actually produced a lot of players from that particular school, the Christchurch Primary School, because the like of Medo Camara, I actually met him. We actually met in the primary school, so our relationship started from that side.
Okay.
So there's a lot of players long relationship, yeah. So Medo and a lot of other players I couldn't remember, but I actually remember Medo up to date because we've been continuing from the primary school up to national team and stuff like that. So it was good. I attended Christchurch Primary School. We actually played for my primary school, and then we have to play school like St. Edward's Primary School. Those days they have a lot of players, the Paris School and other players, so the competition was very great. And the distance was not far from Secular Road to 4th Street. So that
was was very, very intense between the two. I remember attending there. I remember attending the school league was the big thing at that time. If you're in a school now they represent past school league, they know they can't tune that much, not get that much relevance. But then how been like you go school, you develop football, now the host the papa been agree, mama been agree, how the tussle been there?
Well, definitely for me, there was not too many tussle in terms of my my football career, because I actually lose my dad when I was 3 years.
Okay.
So I actually grown up with with my mom, and my elder sisters, and of course my elder sister, they wanted me to go to school, and but definitely, I was still going to school, as a young man, and I was still playing football, But then you will reach a point where you thought that you understand, and you try to do both things at the same time. But there is a time that you have to actually concentrate on one.
Okay.
So when I actually finished my junior in primary school from class 1 to class 6, and then I took the NPSC exam, and then I actually wanted to go to St. Edward's Secondary School by then, but then unfortunately I couldn't make it, so I have to go to Model.
Okay.
So I actually go to start my junior secondary school in Model School, and then when I went to Model, and there was this secondary school league that was going on again, and then when I went to Model School, those days, there's not a lot of players you can find, or football players, or people who want to play football you can find. So most of the players, or most of the guys you find who wanted to play football, you find them in Edwards, the Collegiate, the Prince of Wales. So when I went to Model those days, was few of us, when the school league wants to start, let me just talk now, then go say, let everybody, who don't want to play football, the school, they train everybody go, you understand? So that's how we go. And then we get we secondary, we PH teacher where they come for sports, the talent and people are very good. And then we find out we not get too many players. There was only few players. So I then I moved from 1 to from 3, and then anytime we get school league, I they play so good. And I go get school like okay, and Model with the PH teacher then go they can't tell me say they want to pull me in a Model because now me one great Model get. So
you then a position to say like you for left and go play on the other side, but then not be one that for having because the school said we need somebody for represent them.
Yeah, the school need somebody for representing, and the only post where the school be able to talent and the Model and me. But to begin to tell me again, I say okay, if I did a Model and continue for doing a Model, then I not go even reach that pick I want. And the pick I want was I want for win the school league.
Okay.
So then first of all, I began for sit me Beke. So when I sit me Beke, then I began for move to Rokel. You understand? Then where I start me from 4 now Rokel. And then I go to Rokel. The first year I go to Rokel again. We start a school league again. And then the first game was against Edwards. And then before this academic year I go down where I start me SS1. Then and from this particular time I move from Rokel again and go to Edwards.
Okay.
So this year that's how I go to Edwards. Because by then I get my friends already been at Edwards. They want me for camp. Because they say, okay, Anna, you won't get in a Rokel, so if you didn't Rokel, you go so far. So you need to come Edwards, low world play, So that's how I actually left Rokel and go start me SS1 again at Edwards.
Wow.
So when I go to Edwards, it was good because the combination was good. And then, Edwards, they get everybody, So And then at Edwards and we play the school league and we win the school league for 2 years and stuff.
You didn't actually come through because that's exactly what you want for when I win the school league. But you went to the Christchurch Primary School. You also went to the Model Secondary School, and you moved to Rokel Secondary School as well, and also finally end up na St. Edward. So at that time already, football been on day in you. Were you looking at it like, say, okay, now football I get for take at the end of the day after schooling?
Yeah, definitely. From that particular time, you start to see the signs, the signs of course. You start to see the love when people show you out there, especially with the school, the kids, the friends, when you just the work on the street, you go see you come in the school, if you definitely move from. Kelly going to Edwards, how the Edwards student and the picking, the boys them, how they cheer, how they get passion for you playing for Edwards Secondary School, that's a huge advert for you, So me go back to St. Edward Secondary School, coming from Rokel or Model. When I went back to St. Edward Secondary School, then the publicity was already there, So I already seen the vision, like, now I have to go for this one because I've started to see the picture in front of myself, and I start to believe in myself. You understand? So definitely I went to Edwards and it was a success. We win the school league and it was good and everything. So that time you see everything. It was easy. Then I made up my mind that I have to go for it, and I start to see myself become a football player. I start to put in my dreams through that. I want to represent my country. I want to go out. I want to become a pro player. So this was how everything started.
So once the dream came. For Leone win the league, and then you wanting to make the decision already for become a professional footballer. At that time, were there somebody where you been to watch, where you go inspire you, say, okay, this is an inspiration from? Because at that time when you wanted to go into football, we all know say the pay where footballers them get not being compared to like how it's like now. So we don't have any person will like inspire you, like you look up to say, okay, this person they play football, professional football. Think I want to be like this person.
Definitely, them particular time day after where I don't play school league and go Edwards and and like I say, me coming back from this central part. Where if you say, I want to play football, but the people who for scout me and believe say me a talent or I get talent for play, and if you say if I did at this part, then go able to see me. So like what I say, I need for move to this kingdom and everything. So first of all, you get the people like what I say, the Kemokai Kalon, because I just these are people who will be they play the same role as me. So definitely I was actually mentored by the likes of the Kemokai Kalon, the Pasafa, the Keule, the Macfish, the Obre. So I was actually mentored by these people because there was a time I remember the first time, when I see Macfish they play for Salon, and then I stand and see the guy they play, and then I was like, okay, some days I wanna be like him, I wanna play for my country. So these are the people that actually I was mentored by, because I've seen them playing so many times, and when I start getting closer to them, I think most of them start. Just say, okay, this guy have a talent, or this guy will be a good footballer in the future and stuff like that. So I was actually mentored by all those guys.
You make name Pandi School League when you begin see like, okay, you could definitely go for Gopam football, and when you join Bocas Junior, your name take to some, the spotlight. So many people. It was a mini league, but your performances when you put up for the team make everybody when they talk about David Simbo. Tell me about that experience there with Bocas Junior.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things. What should I say? I will have to live with it forever, because this Bocas Junior team was something. What should I say? Was something we actually created for ourselves,
Okay.
So because this now group of players that will be there, like I say, now the Blackfield area, the Main Street, Sakula, Woodbury Street. So when this mini league they start now Blackfield, so we thought and fit. Okay, we now all the area players them. So now we think say every time when they make the league, we not get opportunity for play, because most of the other teams where they come in, where they register, they always they go look for players them we expose more than we. So then they pay players them. So we thought and fit. Okay, we now we go get a team within the community. So that's how we call WCF and form the team, and we put real money for register the team.
Okay.
And then we end up begin call big one then at the area where we want for let them come and run the team for we.
Okay.
So we start this, and then the likes of Mimi comes in and Goto. And there's a lot of players I can remember, from that particular side. And then we start and get somebody, we go winner like Yakuba, we will put some head, we be they look after and we get a coach. So every even time we go together in college. So that's how we formed this Boca's junior team, because we thought say we get talent, and now we won't forget this team, so we can able to play people in Syria. And that particular team where we formed that particular team, it was, what should I say, was a breakthrough for some of us that actually wanted to take football as our career, So we formed this team, and we start for play, and when the league starts, it was unbelievable, I think we played and we represent that particular community. So within the first phase of the league, then we start to get the huge crowd of the community. So everybody was behind Boca's Junior. So if I could say today, I'm very grateful for all the guys that was part of the team and the people that actually lead that team, because that particular team actually today, helped me to be where I am today, or the person I am today. So I'm very grateful.
Well, it all boils down to the passion get for the idea for say Leone Stars come together. So you don't see if you want to do something that you don't get the support, when I can come together and when I can do them, and when I can end up like David Simbo. Now in 2007 to 2008, Mighty Blackpool signing. And that was like the very first professional career for say, okay, now it's football, and one of the biggest team in the country don't sign me. How it been like, and how that thing they come about?
Yeah, definitely. Me, coming up as a child, first of all, me dream. First of all, me not be a supporter for Mighty Blackpool. So I come on, I also sign me sisters, them, me brother, them, everybody they support Blackpool.
Okay.
And then. I'm not gonna say I don't even know how it happened, but it was like a magic for me, because that particular time, actually, and last sometimes this is not story I not even remember, So this Mighty Blackpool thing just happened like this, because actually Mighty Blackpool and FC Colombia they train at Ketife by then. So then I be this coach, Agina, Agina be the coach FC Cologne. So by then me I be like a Bobo to Agina. So Agina na keep the ball them everything at Campbell Street. So me they everything Campbell Street and Panemba Road. So every time we coach they go to and coach they come which way along. Not only me, but we get a group of players the way we do with them. They always say that the coaching player in the wire. So I be trained with FC Cologne by then. But that time the FC Cologne get large squad. So we be on the junior team. So there was a time I never ever forget. So Kochi, he was the head coach. And that was the first time after many years back where Musa Kalon returned back to Freetown. So I could still remember. So the first time he came back, he came to the other end part of KT field. And the way he came, what Salon players and all the train, so everybody they shout because everybody won the ball. So everybody was shouting ball, 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 and then Logo have to step in the middle of the park and say like, why is everyone shouting? Everyone is shouting or calling for the ball, So he just come and ask the permission of Agina. So let Agina give him a few minutes. So he just take over the training. So the next day he actually take over the training. So like 5 days he take over the training. So Agina was on the sideline. So then after some time Agina not come again. So Agina not come again. Me and Agina they go with me. So me say not come again.
Okay.
So after some time I come. So I come, the coach asks me, Musa Kalon asks me, say, what's up with this? So I think say some players end up telling say me na coaching, but now because coaching no they come again. So then Musa begin for ask me say, me cannot come again. So me self stop. So and this thing happened. So by then Blackpool be the train in the evening. So myself in the evening I go train at Blackpool. So the good thing for me, I think, I stepped in Blackpool the right time. It was the right time. You've been in the right place.
Yeah.
So by then, I think the under 17 was having there was training. There was on intensive training. They have to travel to Finland and everything. And by then, Zingel was a player for Mighty Blackpool, but he was going to be part of the under 17 team. So he was not in the training. So in Blackpool has some league matches to play. So the same day I go train at Blackpool, and then all the supporters was like, no, we need to take this guy because it's like the same way Zingele they play now. So it's like Zingele goes, Zingele come. So there's the first day I train at Blackpool. just after the training, they begin put pressure on me say I have to sign for the club.
Okay.
So, but this was unbelievable because I didn't even see myself playing for Blackpool at that time, you know. Because you go to one team, you see the likes of, you know, McFish, you know, Fuller Collet, Daniel Fode, Bokeh, and all these guys, you know. And these are people you've been watching from the stand, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day when I stepped my foot there, I trained and I was excellent in the training. And the coach, everybody wanted me to play, to sign for the team. I was so scared, I was nervous. So and then after the training, I went home, I run, and then I went to explain to my mom and my sister, you know, and this don't happen now. So Blackpool want to make a sign, you know, and then okay, my mama, they have no idea about football. They have no clue, you know, what was going on. And even me, I was young that time. I don't even know what was going on. So, but then the people in this Boca Junior, you understand, they thought they was going to have a lot of money. But all I wanted was just to say I play for Mighty Blackpool. You understand?
You want to go
I just want to go, yeah.
So you don't know about the procedures, them, the signing, waiting for come to Brokers Junior, you know, waiting for go to you. You've been just one for take to the field.
No, I don't care what was going to happen, whether Boca Junior get money or whether they don't get money. All which I want to play for Mighty Blackpool. So I didn't even care. But you know, but in particular, telling like I say, all the clubs that we play for, you understand, then take so much advantage of we because we don't know anything about football and we don't know anything about contract, how they go about contract and whatever. So once you just go and carry with life card for you sign, and then wherever you want to move, go to another thing. Go tell you that life card will be signed, you sign them for 10 years. So this was the problem that affects a lot of us in that generation because by that time we didn't know, not like now. Now we are in the century that you know. Now I know everything about football contract, how it's going and how it should be. So now even me young one, the way they come, and I go see them go through that kind. You understand?
It was a phase where been very difficult. I mean, tough, and just the passion of the game being make so many things that happen, and you guys just wanted to play for the people then sooner. But fast forward, you not even stay with Mighty Blackpool, and then you moved to Europe. You moved to Rufus Norway. Talk to me how that name come about.
Yeah, and it's just like what I say when I go Blackpool, and I was so young and focused. You know, I wanted to show myself so bad, and then I did, and I went to Blackpool. I played, and I think one of the players they could actually be proud of today, coming from that club, is me and maybe Zingeli and other few other players. They will always proud to say they come from Blackpool, and up to now I stay Blackpool. You know, it doesn't matter. So it was good for me, and then we have the opportunity to go out from Blackpool. You know, where they actually got money from the club. I went to Norway, and then I went to trial. I went to Norway like 2 times. So the first time I went to Norway, I was young, and I have the opportunity to meet the likes of Chinedu Obasi. There's a Nigerian guy in John Obi Mikel. I met them in Oslo. That was the first time I went there. So when they was training in the big team, I was in the junior team. Okay. There sometimes I have to get promotion to train with the first team. Okay. So I went to Norway, and then it was not a success, and I have to come. I come back home. I come back home and then start training again, play for Mighty Blackpool, and then I take the second course again, go to Sweden. And then when I went to Sweden, everything was a success. I went to Sweden, I played for Motala, and I played for Motala for 6 months, and I got an offer to go to the Motala was like the first division team, and I played for 6 months, and then I got a contract to play for the Premier League in a team called Trelleborg, where Musa Tumbo went, who was in the Premier League, and then I went in Trelleborg. Actually, by then, there was a Sierra Leone player again in Trelleborg by the name of Ibrahim Kourouma Marcel. So Marcel was actually in Trelleborg by then. So the reason actually I signed for Trelleborg because Marcel was there. So I thought going to Trelleborg will be easy for me because there's already a Sierra Leonean there. So
we're going for show me around
and let me feel comfortable. Yeah. So I went and he was there, and the reception was good. So I have to settle him very well, and so I start my career like that, playing in Sweden. I played for so many clubs in Sweden. Like I went to Sandviken after Trelleborg. I went to Boden. Yeah, and then I've been in Sweden like almost 4 years and something. And then definitely I got a huge contract to come back. I went to Sudan.
Yeah. So let me talk about all the time where you get in Europe. You don't mention all the time, so I know if you go down there and you play for so many things. Also Al Ali Club, Sudan as well. You play for them. Now let me talk about you first call up the national team. When you get the call, say okay, David Simbo, you're making the list of the national team for where the Leone Stars Jazzy. Where I know say it was a dream.
Yeah. What should I say? I think I'm one of those players. If I want to say, I was, like I say, when I was coming up, I don't want to say I was lucky, but I was hardworking. And then maybe, because if I remember the first time I actually put the green, white, and blue, that was a zone 2. in Guinea-Conakry. That was a Zone 2 in Guinea-Conakry. I think that was it was something like
2010.
No, that was not 2010. That was 2004 or 5? We will play the Zone 2 with the late Alpha John at Guinea-Conakry.
Okay.
So that was actually when, and I don't want to take and say
so that time that you been at my own base.
I mean, at home base.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at home base.
Yeah, because it's an home base competition.
Home base competition. So we play, and then me at home base. I play for the national team. So from that particular time, I've been part of the national team.
Okay.
So, but when I actually get my really debut for the national team, was 2007 and everything, and then. You can say since I started playing from 2007 up to now, I've been part of the national team, and then so for me it has been a very great journey, and it was a dream come true. And to
how been Talek, like when you joined the national team, other professional players them they were all stats way back, how we be, because you Zengele, Marcel, it was the Sierra Leone defense was, if you not be Marcel, Zengele, David Simbo, two of Panentigid and they for definitely make the back for the national team. How you been Talek, when the call up the come and the rotation in the between how that thing will be there between you, Zengele, and that of Marcel.
Definitely for us, I mean that particular thing, like what they say, we just like the atmosphere, because then the competition was great.
Okay.
And so in football, definitely, the larger the squad, then the easier for the coach, because definitely you have option, So now, if I get called up for can play for national team, and definitely I see Zingeli, I see Marcel, and I see some other key players, I mean, that need to give me a double effort, to show the coach I want to play. So I don't want to come there and I see only Simbo, then I feel comfortable that it's only going to be me, I'm going to play. So you definitely know, so if you don't see Marcel, you don't see Zingele, then automatically means you don't even know where you stand, So you have to go more extra to show the coach that, I'm better than him, or I'm better, but in the positive way. So we've been there, it was cool, it was great, because we did everything, but in a positive, we was competing, but in a positive way. And everybody wants to play, and everybody believe they can play. So that was the good thing about everything, We fight. We in the training we go hard at each other, but we was good. We love each other. But the thing, like I say, the competition was there, because I believe Marcel could play, I believe Zingele can play, and Zingele himself believes that Simbo can play. So nobody feel comfortable. So when you don't feel comfortable, that's the great thing you can achieve.
I'll put you on the spot now. Partnering with them two, then they, which partnership you been like most?
And for me, I don't get the opportunity for playing longer time with Zingele, so I could say actually me and Zingele was more perfect, but I definitely have a problem playing with Marcel. Marcel is a good player compared to Zingele, but I've got more partnership with Zingele more than Marcel.
All right. Well, it is the What's Happening Breakfast Show. We get the national team defender at the studios this morning. His name is David Simbo, and we talked about in life and, of course, in journey with the national team. And, of course, within the go on with him right about now in the world of football. We still continue with the conversation. We'll definitely let you go because you need to go rest after a long training this morning. Now, with the national team, I think it's like we don't play several games now. Get the call up for join the team. You want to talk to Fambulum exactly why is that, and waiting to make that now because you're still fit to play.
Yeah, definitely. What should I say? I'm still part of the national team. I'm still playing, and you're only gonna stop playing when you retire. But I'm still playing. I'm still part of the national team. I'm just coming from the training session this morning. It seems really good and amazing. A lot of players in town. Everyone is coming up for the training. I mean, going on with the younger boys in the team. And I know we've been playing a few games. I've not been part of the team, but that's football sometimes, and with the pandemic that is going on, it's been up and down with the career, and so many, clubs, with contract and everything has been so difficult, I've got some few offers, some contract to go to so many other places, but because of the system and the rules and regulation with the immigration stuff,
COVID now.
The COVID has been the problem, But like I say, nevertheless, it's been for me. It's been good, and I've not been in the national team for the few games, and the people who have been there, has stand up as they represent the Nation in a positive way, and I think they represent all of us. That was the good thing. You know, we are going in the right direction. I think I'm here, like I said, I'm still training with the national team. I'm still part of the national team, so everything is going on smooth. So definitely, I think we're looking forward to the future now and see what's going to happen. We have 2 more games coming up in March, and if we win those games, we have a possibility going to the African Cup of Nations. So I think the head coach and the rest of the staff and the players, we're all working towards that direction and see what's going to happen.
All right. I'll talk to you about things that off the football. You know, somebody they listen you and they watch you right now want to know, you know, is David Simbo a family man? When he's not playing football, what is Simbo to do?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a family man. You know, having 2 kids. Yeah, but like
a boy and girl.
Yeah, a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely, I'm a family man. You know, maybe I've not yet got married, but hopefully this year. We never know.
Right. We hope to get the invites to that.
Sure.
So you got 2 kids, and the boy picking you. They see any football potential partner? Is he kicking the ball around the house?
Yeah, the boy picking is good. He's a left footer, and he lives in Spain.
Okay.
And he's in one of the academy in Spain, so you never know.
Okay.
So it not necessarily means that because in daddy play football, he can play football, but he love football and he want to play football. So we see what's gonna happen.
All right. Yeah. What about the girl picking?
The girl picking also. I mean, in want to become something else, you know.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but we see, like I say, you know, when you know, say we're picking and then you go up, then you have to really get to decide what you want to do.
Okay.
So they're still young, you know. The girl picking is 2+ and the boy is like 7.
Okay.
So we see what's gonna happen when they go. They see they will take their own decision for themselves.
So as of now, is it safe to say that Simbo is a free agent and he can sign to anything?
Yeah, definitely. Though I'm a free agent, you know. Like I said, I'm looking forward to what's gonna happen this January window. You know, like we say, you know, sometimes it's like we say, it's been difficult with the pandemic, and we also, I mean, in Sierra Leone, like we said, the local league is not been going too effective, you know, and there's so many problems because there's something people don't understand, you know. Sometimes people think like maybe we just want to stay in Europe, just want to play in Europe, you know. But I've been playing in different parts, coming from Europe. I've been in Europe, coming back to Africa and playing in Sudan, you know. That was a huge experience for me, you know. So now, if I'm half club, you know, I don't have a problem. You have to come back and play for a team in your country, but we have a lot of things that is wrong. So when if the infrastructure,
if the structure is not in place, it's difficult for now when you used to how things they run now you.
So that's what we're talking about. But there's a lot of players who are ready to come and play. If the structure and the league was running in the right direction, we see everything. Why not? You know, I should come back and play and sign for any club, you know, and that's going to bring more value to the league. So the one of the initiative when I leave Sweden and go back to Sudan, a lot of people was thinking, why you live in Europe and going to Africa? But like people don't understand, it was a great experience for me, and every single thing I actually achieved today, I got it from that particular side. Not when I was in Europe, but I get all those things from coming play from Sudan, you know.
Okay.
So that was
then get system and structure way we suit you and way we make you feel like saying a European play, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the biggest teams in Africa. If you play for Al Hilal Sudan, it's like you play for a club that owns more than 80 or 100,000 fan base.
Okay.
So if you check in the history of Africa, you will see them. They one of like the, what should I say, maybe in the first 10 of the most wealthy club in Africa, you know. So you see, there was everything was in place. So you don't get yourself stressed. There's a lot of things I could even assure you that club owns that clubs in Europe doesn't even have, you know. Okay. So when you look at the football pitch they own, you look at the football complex, you look at the structure, the management, you know. There's a lot of clubs in Europe who don't have those management, they don't have those football complex, or they don't have those organization, you know. So again, that's what we're talking about. If some of the clubs in Freetown or in Sierra Leone could actually try to get those things in place, I think there are a lot of other players, you know, or experienced players or senior players who will be willing to come and play and give back, you know, sharing the talent or what they've learned outside to the younger ones that are coming. And they will be adding more value to the domestic league, you know.
All right. Well, Simbo, I have to say plenty thank you to you for you take your time for come on the breakfast show, because you just take them off from training and you know it's been difficult for you to put this together, but you end up for come. So I would say plenty thank you to you, and you know, what will be a message to Sierra Leoneans then waiting for look forward to?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thank you very much also for having me this morning, and To every Sierra Leonean out there, I just want to wish you a very happy New Year and prosperous 2021. We pray that everything will work well for we. I just want to say to Sierra Leoneans them, I'm a footballer, so like I say, the only thing I want to do, this is now 2021, and also we got a very two crucial game coming up in March. You guys have been behind this team. We see the last support you gave for the Nigerian game. So continue that support, continue believing the players, and continue believing us, and give us your prayer. And hopefully, coming March, if we get those 2 games done, then we definitely will make that history to go to the Nations Cup. Then we believe Sierra Leone will be on the map.
All right, thank you very much. His name is David Simbo. He's a national, international footballer. Of course, he's representing Sierra Leone. Don't go anywhere. It is the What's Happening Breakfast Show. When we come back, our next guest is standing by.
This show is powered by Afriradio.
Wondering how to cash in using Afrimoney? Here are a few easy steps. Go to the nearest Afrimoney agent. Tell them how much you want to deposit. Give the agents your number and the cash. You will receive an SMS notification from 161 confirming the deposits. To check and confirm your balance, dial *161 *9 *1# and enter your PIN. Remember, you do not have to pay extra for deposits. Cashing is free.